enjoy English school. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
It's June 19th, and we're on pages 40 and 41. We have the travel English dialogue, and today we're talking about check your passport.
我们今天6月19、40到41页哦，观光音乐的地方，我们要讲到的是护照。大家护照到期了吗？很久没用了，对不对？还是最近有用，最近有 renew 呢？护照到期该怎么办？
So we have Chris, and Helena. When I saw the name Chris here, I got nervous. I said, "What if Chris is like a horrible person?"
It's okay.
So, yeah, check your passport. Maybe it is expired. As a matter of fact, I needed to renew my passport just a few months ago. So we have a very on-topic article today. Let's listen, and when we come back, we have our first set of 5 lines.
Check your passport. Chris and Helena are discussing their next trip at Chris's house.
I think it's about time to plan our next trip. Where do you think we should go?
I was thinking of a tropical place. How about Bali?
Bali sounds amazing. But before we get too carried away picturing ourselves on the beach, we should check our passports to make sure they're still valid.
Good point. Let me grab mine. Oh no! It looks like my passport is about to expire.
Yikes, that could be a problem. You'll have to renew it before we do anything else. It took a little bit of time to renew mine last time.
You're right. I'll have to gather some documents and go through the application process, right?
Yeah, you need to submit the required paperwork and pay the fee. It'll take about 10 work days, so just make sure to do it as soon as possible.
I see. I'll get my renewal documents sorted as soon as I get home.
Good thinking. Let me know if you need any help. I'll look at accommodations in the meantime and send you what I find.
Thanks. What would I do without you?
Okay, so pick up your blue pen and number each of your lines. Today we have 10 lines. So Chris is 1, Helena is 2, Chris is 3, and so on and so forth. Okay? Chris and Helena are discussing their next trip at Chris's house.
所以 Chris 跟 Helena 他们正在讨论在 Chris 家他们正在 Chris 家讨论他们的下一次的旅行。
That's right. Be careful here because I feel a lot of students might think, oh, their next trip, they're going to go to Chris's house. This is not the next trip to Chris's house. This is at Chris's house. They are talking about what they want to do for their next trip.
所以这个就是介系词重要的地方。如果是 next trip to Chris's house， 那就代表他们下一个旅行要去 Chris 家。但这边是 at Chris house， 就代表说他们是在 Chris 家讨论下一次要去哪里。
We won't say home here. Taiwanese students love to say home. We want to say at Chris's house. Home has a special feeling. Helena does not live with Chris, so we're going to say house, not home.
所以 home 它是有一个比较有归属感的感觉。
Yeah. Let's look at line number 1. Chris says, I think it's about time to plan our next trip. Where do you think we should go?
It's about time 是时候了。所以 Chris 说，是时候来规划一下我们下一次的旅行了。你觉得我们应该去哪里？
So should is a modal verb. If you listen to a few episodes ago with Minnie and I, at the very end, I talked about modal verbs. We can't say should to go because modal verbs don't use the word to.
所以我们在之前有讲过，就是 should 这个字，它跟 can 跟 will 一样，后面都是接原形动词，所以你不会看到 should to 这种用法，完全不会哦。
That's right. And we also won't say should goes. We won't use third person. That's right. Be careful. No ed, no s, no ing.
Nothing.
All right, let's look at line number 2. Helena says, I was thinking of a tropical place. How about Bali?
所以他说我在想一个 tropical 热带的地方。那巴厘岛怎么样呢？
So tropical is an adjective. We can see this as an adjective because we have IC and AL. When we have a word ending in IC or AL, it is almost always an adjective. Well, AL 比较都可以, but IC 这位, dude, that's an adjective, okay? So we have tropical place. We could not say tropical place, and we can use a more specific word. We can say the tropics. So you cross out AL, you need an S. You can't say the tropic. That's wrong. You must say tropical place or the tropics.
所以 tropics 把 AL 拿掉，加上 S 就代表说热带的地方，但是一定要加 S。
Yeah, you must add an S here. If you don't, it's wrong. We do like to talk about the tropics in English. That's a good phrase to know. Have you been to Bali?
Yes.
I've never been to Bali. So after we got all of our cats, so I have 9
Right.
cats, it became very hard to
difficult
travel,
to travel.
because those cats, they need a lot of attention. So
Yeah.
there are little, we live in their jail. Let's look at line number 3. Chris says, Bali sounds amazing. But before we get too carried away picturing ourselves on the beach, we should check our passports to make sure they're still valid.
Get carried away 就是有点像被带走了这样子，就是你明明我们就还在计划，可是你已经想到你在海滩上后面被带走了，就叫 get carried away。这个在英文里面很常见，所以 Chris 他在这边说巴厘岛听起来很棒哎，但在我们兴奋的忍不住想象自己身处海滩的画面以前，我们应该先来怎么样检查一下护照。
Let's check our. Oh, please continue. I totally cut you off. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah， 就是先检查护照，然后确保他们都还在有效期内。
There we go. All right. Sorry about that. So let's look at our sentence here. So just like Minnie said in Chinese, let's say get carried away in English. This just means to lose control.
失控。
That's right. But lose control sounds worse than get carried away. You might tell kids that are naughty in a classroom, don't get carried away, and then they get crazier. Now they lost control.
所以 get carried away 跟 lose control 都是有点失控，但是它有程度上之分。
That's right. Don't forget we say on a beach. Okay, when you're 那个在海滩 we say on a beach. We can also say at a beach. We don't say in the beach. Look at the word should. We already talked about should at the end of line 1. Don't forget, should to check is wrong. Write to and cross it out.
所以 should 后面要加原形动词。
Okay, and lastly, the word valid, Minnie already told us. The opposite of valid is expired. We'll see this later. And then you need to renew your passport. Think of these 3 words. We'll say them all later. Our next sentence in line 4, Helena says, good point. Let me grab mine. Oh no, it looks like my passport is about to expire.
所以他这边说，说得好让我看一下我的护照，拿一下护照。不，看起来我的护照 almost expire. 这边就看到过期的字，所以快要过期了。
That's right. So in our last line, we have valid. Here's expired. Did you underline these yet? So these are 3 great words. We have valid, expired, and then renew in our next sentence here. Look at the word mine. Remember, when we say mine, we don't want another noun after it. We can't say mine passport. We usually use mine, yours, his, hers, theirs, and ours at the end of a sentence. But we can also put it at the front. We say, what color is your passport? We can say, my passport is blue. 还是
Mine is green.
That's right. Mine is green. At the very front or at the end. We usually don't use it in the middle.
所以老师这边特别提到 M-I-N-E, mine, 它其实是在我们讲事情有很多所有格加上名词 my book, his book, her book, 然后要一直重复到这2个字的时候，我们就会用一个这个所有格加上名词变成另外一个变成 mine, his, hers, yours, 这样我们就不用一直写一样的字了。
If you have food that is like the date says is expired, do you check it or do you just throw it out?
Food?
So let's say you have like some food at the home and you look at the date and it says it's expired.
I mean, depend on what kind of food.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's milk, I throw it out.
You don't even sniff.
My husband will.
He'll smell it.
He was like, my nose can tell.
The smell test. That's the smell test.
That's
exactly.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, I think you give it a taste, and then decide if you want to throw it out.
I think so. Usually I check. And if I know it's okay, ready? I know it's expired and I know it's not bad, I'll still smell it. I feel like I need to know. And I was, oh, this is terrible. And just feel a lot of regret.
And you know, at 家乐福, that kind of like wholesale, whatever places, the food that has already expired or almost expired is cheaper.
Oh, it's good they do that. Many supermarkets in America will just throw it out.
Oh.
And they will even put poison in it so people can't take
What?
it. Right.
So mean.
America is not nice to poor people.
Oh.
Okay, so your husband will do the smell test. He'll smell the milk and then check. Okay, do you guys do this? I have milk. I know it's bad. I know you can't drink it. I will still smell it. I feel like I have to smell it.
Okay, I have to make sure you're sour.
Yes, it's like, I'm really unhappy right now. I don't know why I have to do it. So, okay. All right, let's look at line number 5. Chris says, yikes, that could be a problem. You'll have to renew it before we do anything else. It took a little bit of time to renew mine last time.
Yikes 其实就是有点的感觉啊，那可能是一个问题耶。在我们要做任何事情以前，你需要先 renew， 你要更新你的护照。上次更新我的护照，花了一点时间耶。
That's right. So look at this. Line number 3, 最后是 valid.
Valid.
Line number 4, the last word expire.
Expire 过期。
Line number 5 in the second sentence, renew.
更新。
These are all super good words when you talk about passports. All right, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, let's learn more. All right, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 40 and 41. We're learning about checking your passports. Chris and Helena wanted to go to a tropical place, and Helena learned her passport is about to expire. She has to renew it. Let's look at line number 6. Helena says, hey, you're right. I'll have to gather some documents and go through the application process, right?
你说对了，那我必须要收集一些文件，并且完成申请流程，对吗？
So when we go through something, this means you carefully search or do something. So I need you to go through your homework and find whatever. I forgot to write your grade or whatever it might be, okay? The word gather just means collect. They are actually a little different, but usually gather or collect are fine. Your application is the letter or the paper you need to complete before you can do something or get something. Usually we talk about job applications. If you want to work here, you must first fill out the job application.
那刚老师讲的 job application 其实就是我们所谓的工作申请哦。但是其实 application 现在这个字所有的孩子都会，因为我们的手机 app 其实就是 application 应用程式也是这个字。
Yeah, that's true. I'm a little older. When I was a teenager, we had to write them out. And the job I have, you don't need like applications. Like you go and teach. And you show them you can teach. So yeah, you said that I didn't even realize it. That's right, it's really different. Line number 7, Chris says, yeah, you need to submit the required paperwork and pay the fee. It'll take about 10 work days, so just make sure to do it as soon as possible.
所以他说，对啊，你需要缴交所需的资料，然后要 fee 就是要支付费用，那这会大概花10个工作天，所以要确保尽快申请 as soon as possible.
So when we have required here, we see the RE. And a lot of students, they're
required.
Like, they think it's like like 再一次, like redo the homework. That's not re here. So re actually has a second meaning in Latin. It just makes the word stronger. You must do it. What does required mean? You have to do it.
需要的.
You need to do it. What's stronger than have to and need to? Required. Re here is a Latin like yo, 真的的意思. That's really what it means here. This is a tricky one.
Do you say require or require?
So both are fine. I naturally say required. But I say required in Taiwan because it's more widely accepted. I actually say required with the long E. You might hear both. Both are fine. I think most people say, I check a dictionary for these things. Most people sounds like they say required.
How about the request?
A request, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
request. Because the verb is the second syllable. Yeah, so paperwork is uncountable, and fee, just like Minnie said, that's the money you give to someone for them to do something. And so do 10 work days. That means Monday to Friday, not Saturday, Sunday. So that means 2 weeks. When we say as soon as possible, we can also say
ASAP.
ASAP or
ASAP.
ASAP. You can totally say both ASAP or ASAP. ASAP should be capital letters.
要大写，因为它是缩写。
ASAP is also really good too. Let's look at number 8. Helena says, I see. I'll get my renewal documents sorted as soon as I get home.
对，他说I see， 我明白了。等我到家，我就会开始整理我的更新文件。
So I used to work as a passport processor.
Oh?
I used to, when you wrote it out, we had to type it in the computer. We had this special room. It was like super sick. There was like a police officer in the front. You could, this is when you have music with cell phones with music and iPods and stuff. We could not use those.
Oh.
We had to use CD players. But this is like when the iPhone already existed. So you had to go find a CD player and like make your own CDs because they were afraid you would steal everybody's passport information. Yeah, it was a fun job. Actually the job was very boring, but the managers were great. And the people I worked with were awesome. That's right. That was a weirdly fun job.
Very interesting.
Typing all day. Sometimes we had people, we weren't sure, they forgot to write boy or girl. We had to guess. We're like, is this a man or a woman?
Can you see the picture?
Yeah, you can see the picture. Dude, you can't tell. You do not know. You're like, and you were just like, you would send it, and if it's wrong, like they would have to send it back. So make sure you complete the application process. Line number 9, Chris says, good thinking. Let me know if you need any help. I'll look at accommodations in the meantime and send you what I find.
所以这边的 good thinking 其实是有点像 good idea 啊，好主意。如果你需要任何帮忙，尽管让我知道。同时呢，我会看一下 accommodation， 就是代表说我们住宿，然后将我找到的传给你看。
That's right. Accommodations maybe is a hotel or an Airbnb. Hostels, motels. If you do you really have motels in Taiwan? I don't use that word here.
Yeah. We have motels in Taiwan. Normally, motels means you can drive your car into the garage and then you can walk up, right?
Yeah. Like they're usually smaller hotels in America. Usually a family owns it. They may be dirtier or cheaper. But if you're not worried about 5-star experience, that a motel is fine for most people. Right. So in the meantime means during the time before something else happens. Before you get your passport renewed, I will look at hotels. This means in the meantime.
所以 in the meantime 其实就是在你护照更新以前，我也同时会做这件事情。同时做的时候，我们就可以用 in the meantime.
All right, and our final line today, Helena says, thanks. What would I do without you?
哎呀，这句话不错。他说，谢谢啦，没有你我该怎么办？其实就是有你真好 ，Thank you for your help。但除了你直接说 Thank you， 你也可以用这个反问的语气我没有你该怎么办？代表你很重要。
Yeah, I agree. And what would I do without you guys watching our program and reading the magazine? And what would I do without you translating? Because my Chinese is kind of bad.
No, your Chinese is perfect.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. You're lying. How dare you bring Enjoy English School to a house of lies? No, but thank you everyone for enjoying. If you have a passport, make sure it's valid. Make sure it's not expired. And give yourself a lot of time to renew it. How long do you need to
6
renew
months.
Okay, good. In America, we say about a year to 6 months in advance.
Yeah, I think if you want to book a ticket, if you want to be on a trip, your passport should at least be 6 months.
Valid for 6 months.
Yeah, valid for 6 months.
If you need to renew it, how long does it usually need to get it back?
10 days.
Wow, is it really that fast?
Yeah.
America is at least 3 months.
Taiwan number 1.
Yeah, at least 3 months, and that is super dangerous. Really, you're thinking 6 months.
I applied for my son's Canadian citizenship. And they say, oh, 很快就会好的，9到24个月。
So fast, 9 months, a year, 12 years.
My son will be 2.
He'll be 30 by the time he gets there. For Enjoy English School, I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.